Hey friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. This is the October set of printables for Collage Club. It's Halloween season, so it's basically all Halloween. I mean, some things are not, but it pretty much all is. There's a ton in here as well. If you don't know, we're doing our Hello workshop and a lot of that content made it into collage sheets, obviously. But there are some other things in here as well and just some other fun things that I wanted to try. I think there's 11 sheets. I'm not quite sure, but there's a ton. So let's not waste too much time going through them all. A couple of, and I wouldn't say they repeat, but this is all on one page of minis right at the back. So I guess I can kind of eliminate that right now. That's just a minis version, just in case you want something smaller. I definitely wanted that for my 5-year journal. But this is a page of the tags that I've done as kind of progress markers through my Hello workshop. Each time I do a lesson, I do the lesson on a little tag, and then I kind of reference that tag. And I've had like this little storage system. It's here. It's like a, I don't know what you call this, but a mail holder. And I've just been going through, I guess I shouldn't spoil any of the upcoming lessons, but I've been going through these tags and kind of checking them off and pulling them out when I have the next lesson to do. I don't know, it's just weird. Sometimes I like to do these weird organizational things that seem very motivating. It's kind of like having a list. You feel more motivated to check things off of it. But that is what I've been doing. Anyway, so this is kind of like an overview of the content that I've been doing in the Hello workshop. And because this is going up today, there are lessons coming out tomorrow that are referenced over here, so don't look if you don't want to spoil it. There's going to be a few things that you'll see throughout the rest of this week in the sheets because the content is already done, but it hasn't actually gone live yet, so this is just a little tricky, but come back and watch this later if you want to see it all. But those are the tags, and I don't even know why I'm using those tags again. I think cleaned out the cupboard the other day and I found a whole box of them and I thought, oh, I'll put them near my desk, see what happens. And now I'm obsessed with the tags again. So not going back into a Tag Tuesday phase, but definitely using them a lot for this for some reason. I just want to say as well, my printer's a little off. You can see some weird pink ghosting around here. Some of the gray looks very green. I spent hours trying to calibrate the printer and fix it. Don't know what the issue is really. I've ordered a whole new set of inks and maybe I'm thinking it might, I actually think it has something to do with the way the printer is interpreting colors, specifically light gray, because it seemed to be that issue that on the lower settings, like the lower quality settings, it would spit it out kind of fine, but it just wasn't good quality. Like it wasn't a really sharp image, but the colors were all interpreted pretty loosely and they were pretty true to what I had on the screen. When I really upped the quality and made it like a photo print quality, I think it was trying to add all of the extra grayscale that I'd put in there, but it just interpreted it as more green than it is. So they were printing super green, like all of this. And I have wasted, I mean, I tried to do all these calibration tests to see if it was the ink, and that's the thing, it's not. Like, look how vivid that is. The colors were perfect. The black came out super black. I did all of these tests. There were some banding issues. I had to clean the print nozzle and check the head alignment and all that garbage. But see, I would spit it out kind of quickly on some blank paper and it would turn out fine. And then I would actually work on the settings and make them really high quality and they would turn out like this. They'd be green. So I'm having that issue. I'm hoping it resolves itself because you can see I've wasted a ton of paper here. No idea what I'm going to do all with that, but I'll find a use for it, I'm sure. Anyway, so that was just a part of my drama today that I thought I'd share with you before we move on. Just to let you know, some of the pages, you're not noticing things. There is some weird printing errors going on, but we'll get to the bottom of it at some point. There are a lot of the work that I did to create the lessons for Hello Workshop in here, kind of like the concept sketches of some lessons and some of the practice things and some of the working drawings. There's a whole mixture of really, really quick sketchy stuff and then fully complete things as well. So have a good time kind of selecting whatever fits your mood this month because there's tons to choose from. But a lot of this is all from the Hello Workshop, from those lessons. I've been chronicling it all on my Instagram if you want to go and get a closer look at some of the stuff. But I don't think I've shared things like this yet, so this is a pretty good first look at some of that. The extra mile lessons that we do on YouTube, I do provide a lot of those references for people who are in the Hello Workshop, but you can feel free to follow along, obviously, since it's on YouTube. And then some of those things I've put in here as well. So that is just something to look out for if you were looking to reference anything from that particular lesson. Also, if you're in the workshop, I give access to that lesson. It comes out on Friday. Lesson, very loose. I give access to that video to the public on Friday, but everyone in the workshop gets it on Wednesday with all the other content. And the reason, I don't know if I explained this, but I chose Wednesdays for the workshop because of Wednesday Adams. I don't know if I said that at all, because it is a pretty random day just to upload stuff, but it really works out. I like the middle of the week too, because it gives you kind of a lead up into the weekend to get excited for everything, or whenever you take your time. My days are not really specific, so it is what it is. Here's more of the Hello Workshop stuff. I like the little my lolly bag lessons. This one, if you use the silhouette files, is cut up into two. So you've got the top part and the bottom part. You can make those separate a lot wider if you're gonna do, like, put something inside the lolly bag like this. And we've got the Moon Men. We've got the Tim Burton Witch. Love her. Some of these little monster-y characters down here. I've got one of them on his own. I like that he's just kind of grabbing something. You put that on something else and that would be really funny. Skeletina Ballerina, love her. She turned out great, that tone-on-tone version of her. I've also got, this is from a lesson that's coming out tomorrow on Wednesday, but I've got a bunch of the working samples for this as well, which I really, really love. Like, this is actually just, this one right here is from the worksheet that explains one of the concepts of the lesson, but I just loved it as an image, so it goes there. Very retro. The Kokeshi Ween sculptures of Lock, Shock and Barrel, just a few little pumpkins. I'm gonna do this because I mean to do this from time to time, and it's just a very quick little demo here. A lot of things are in black and white, and I print them on glossy photo paper, but that doesn't mean you can't quickly customize them, even on gloss. I know it seems like it's a little difficult, but this is a water-based marker, just a regular Tombow. And I find that it's really handy to have more black and white imagery than to have colored imagery, but I actually don't make much of a differentiation. I don't really consider it, like it's not purposeful. I don't go out of my way to make some things color and some things black and white. I usually just keep it whatever it is, and if I feel like coloring it in, I'll color it in. But for the most part, I do think there's more value to being able to customize a lot of these on your own. So even with some Tombow markers on glossy photo paper, you can make a nice little color story to team with the theme. So I really like that. I'm not going to do this with you, but now I'm really kind of taken away. And this one is a candy apple. So I actually really like the feeling of the Tombow markers on the gloss because it is not super streaky, but the color is so intensely rich. The gloss of the paper really pops the ink. So if you are really feeling like it, it would be a great little way to customize a lot of your printables. And I use my Silhouette Portrait 3 to make the cut files. So these all essentially just become stickers. But any water-based marker will do. You can use an alcohol-based marker too, that's not a problem. Here's an alcohol-based marker. They're not bad. Sometimes I find them a touch more annoying with streaking, but it really just depends on your color, really. Skeletina Ballerina, she can have a nice fluorescent pink look to her. So, you get my point. Feel free to customize and add a little bit of extra color. Sometimes I just think the alcohol marker eats into the paper a little weirdly, but there you go. A little bit of customizing on that one. Then we have some more misprinting kind of colors. It just bothers me. I know you don't know what they look like until you see the file, but it irritates the life out of me. The Skeletina Ballerina mixed with that screen print line effect that we did from my lollybag lesson, and I really loved how these turned out. Actually, more so, I loved the video. I've been doing this, so for the content that I release on social media about the workshop, I release the warm-up lesson, on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I'll release the main lesson, like pictures from that on Instagram, and then on Friday the extra mile video goes up, so then I'll release pictures from that on Friday, and then on Saturday I have this little video that I've been making, these little Instagram reels that are a minute long, and it's where I take parts of the lessons throughout the week and kind of blend them together into something completely mashed up from the whole thing. And so I didn't really take anything from the Kokeshi Ween lesson, but I did take this screen print drawing style, this coloring style, and I used that with the Skeletina Ballerina. And I came up with these really, really fun pastel dancing skeletons, and I just think they are so gorgeous. I'm absolutely obsessed with them. And I can't get enough, but more so, I just love the video. I'm so mesmerized by the video because I took some Copic markers with the chisel end and I just drew them out really quickly in Copic first, like just blocked out colors, and then used a zebra sign pen. It's this one here. A couple of people asked me about it, but I don't know if it's the small or the medium. I can't tell. But it's the zebra sign pen, and it is a really, really small brush tip that's quite hard. Like, it's not a very soft brush. And then you get this really beautiful dynamic line weight to it. So love those. Here is what was going to be a lesson but never ended up becoming a lesson, was these spider webs that were in different shapes. I actually found it really hard to do. Now that I look at it, it doesn't seem that difficult, but anyway, that was a love heart one with a love heart spider. Some more little sketches, little eyeballs. You got the same, like, there's a lot of repeated stuff because, believe it or not, sometimes I have to do the lesson over and over and over again, but these aren't the same. They are different. I know they look the same, but they are different. So pick your fave. I do the lesson over and over and over again. The more I do it, the more it's usually I'm trying to figure out something that I feel like might be a little difficult to teach. Or sometimes I just get really excited to do something and I just do it over and over and over again. I catch that creative frenzy and I just keep going. So there are a lot of her. She's right there too. Some have the background, some don't. I like these background pieces more for like decorating my planner, things that aren't really art journals for me that I won't really work in, as decoration, but I've got, I'll have my planner here and I've got this page and I might just have some space over here. I might just want to put a few things. Usually I put offcuts, but usually more finished pieces I'll put over here. Anyway, so I like that. Some have a little white border, some I cut right up into the sides. Even my silhouette was having an issue today, like it calibrated a little off. And see, that one's cut right at the edge, but there's a white edge over here. It's just, everything was frustrating me today. Wouldn't you know it? It's the way it goes because I just got back from Italy, so why would anything work? I was really pushing up against a deadline, getting these done for the past couple of days since I've been back, and it just, of course, I ran into the biggest printer issues today. So anyway, it's okay. They're all out. They're all on time. I don't even know if I ever said that the first of every month. I think people just assume that the first of every month is when they're delivered, but I don't even know if I ever wrote that anywhere. In my mind, I always can take a few days extra if I need to. I'll just tell everyone, but in my heart of hearts, it has to be the first. I can't bear it. I think one month I didn't do it on the first, and I think that was the only time I ever did that because it just doesn't make any sense to my logical brain to release something that's monthly, not on the first, like a subscription. Anyway. Here we go. This page, I don't know which page we're up to, but we have some of more from the lesson tomorrow. This is the main lesson, Lily of Death Valley. There's an extra kind of worksheet, fun play thing back here that I'll show you that's a bit like that. I have one of these really weird collage pieces. It's like a collage of illustrations that don't really make a lot of sense. That's just really fun and whimsical. A Mary Blair inspired witch, it's the extra mile lesson. I keep saying lesson, they're not lessons, but it's the extra mile video for Friday. I called it the Mary Blair Witch Project, which I thought was clever. But I was experimenting with a few different things I wanted to do because the overall piece looked so simple that I thought I might need to make it a little bit more complicated. And then I thought, no, I can just keep it simple because this got really complicated. It was like all these witches burning on fire, and then that just became a little intense as a thought as well. So I just left it. Here's this really fun little witch. And some more of this retro dango that is a part of the lesson tomorrow. That is the lesson tomorrow. I really wanted to do the retro faces from those like old paper mache trick-or-treat baskets. You know, the pumpkins and the cat heads, all those really vintage looking ones. I've just always loved that as an aesthetic for Halloween. So I wanted to be able to essentially create a worksheet, because it's only the warm-up lesson, and they're quite simple to do, but I wanted to have like a reference sheet of all of the different eyes and noses and mouths and everything that I would use, because they do repeat a lot, and it's essentially just this big mix and match, or a big mashup. I called it the monster mashup. Everything's got to be on theme, doesn't it? I think that's what I just love more than anything, teaming with the theme. I love to alliterate the lessons and just make everything a theme. Here's the Mary Blair Witch. It was actually more about the rendering style. You'll see it on Friday, but it was a nice, fun little time with the pencils, and more of the lessons and the concept sketches for it. This is the one that I mashed all of the lessons from this week up together in, which I thought was really cute. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Like when I look at it, I just think, what would I think that was if I didn't know what it was? And I wouldn't even really know. I would think maybe it was a cake pop, or I might think it was dango, but I probably wouldn't. Maybe a dolly on a stick with a weird proportion. I do love a dolly on a stick. But yeah, more of these. That was my alternate to that, but I ended up going with that. I thought it was really cute. That's not even the finished one. The finished one might be somewhere else. There is more than this as far as content goes for Halloween, but this was already like 11 pages, I think. And so I've decided that I will add some of the other stuff to November's collage club. So that way, if you're still working on stuff for Halloween, once it's passed, you'll have some extra fresh pieces to use, or you can just store those in your storage and pull them out for next year. But some people like spooky stuff out of spooky season. So I certainly do. When I get into my Tim Burton moods, I can pull all my spooky stuffs out. So it's not exclusively Halloween, but I could go on forever. There could be 40 pages of this, and I just not trying to overwhelm everybody. As it is, I think I have. So I just called it at 11 and was like, I will add the rest next month. There's no need to stress about putting it all in here, because they also have all the other lessons that we haven't even done yet. So there's going to be a lot, but we'll see how we go. October into like November becomes really difficult because it moves right into Christmas season for me. So I don't know how much I'll put in there, but I'll try and at least get a few of the extra bits and pieces that I think are most fun in there. And the rest will just be for next Halloween, I guess. And then this piece was from the Fantastical Lashes lesson. And these eyes, I know they look like they're flipped, but they are opposites. So there's one on this side and one on that side. You essentially have the whole set. They just fit together better on the page, flipped and upside down. If you put them next to each other, it took over too much space, so you have less heads. And I made them different sizes as well, so that the relative proportions would be really fun to play with. And essentially, use the eyes, or you can just draw on your own. These are your little face templates. I'm going to stick one of these down and then grab a set of eyes or some mix and match eyes and just pop them on. I might even do a headband of eyes. I don't know, but I'm feeling very creative with this. It's essentially a little activity page. I don't really do that for Collage Club. Most of the time it's just decorative, fun artwork that I've been, playing with in my journals and that I've found from over the years in my work. But I just felt like doing this, and I have a little post-it note here from Collage Club a while ago where it says Advent Calendar. And I keep that over here because that is something I want to do for Christmas. And that's more of like another activity thing. It really does, I think, rely on you having a silhouette silhouette, what are they called? Portrait, like a cutting machine. But you can use it like a hand cutting tool. Oh, sorry, knocked the whole camera. I have a slice tool, which I think you could definitely use to do it. But every now and again, I think I'm just going to add in these random little activity things, because where else would I do it, really, other than in workshops? But right now we're not really doing activities like this. This is more of a Virtual Voyage thing, but who knows when the next one is. Virtual Voyage 10. I've still got to get my perfect idea for that ready before I start working on that. Anyway, I'm really excited to play with this one. I love a little activity. And then this is another little activity as well. I've also printed these on transparent sticker paper. So this is clear and matte. Just because I thought it would be really cute to be able to see through it, and maybe like lay down some watercolor and then stick these over the top because they are transparent. Now I'm looking for some watercolor that I could demonstrate that with, but I can't find any. So you know what? This can go right back here. But this is a part of the Lily of Death Valley lesson for tomorrow. And I have all the alternatives. We go through how to draw one of these, but these are all just some examples. And it's based off of the Lily of the Valley blossom, but they're all these little monster bell blossoms, and they're just super whimsical and cute and sinister, and I just love them. So this is the actual piece that I had as an example for the lesson. Just wanted to include that. And then I've given you 3 different sizes. There's like a big, a medium, and a tiny, and that way you can grade them like this. You can put the big ones here and then get into the medium, then get into the small around that candy cane hook, and draw some leaves on, and that would be a great way for you to just make your own, or just use them as decoration, because they've all got, if you're going to use the print and cut file for the cutting machine, they've all got these lovely little cut lines around them, so they'll be really easy to add. I wanted to do it with this because I thought the gloss would just look too stickery if I wanted to make it a full-on piece, and yeah, sometimes I like the transparent nature of this. It wasn't even just that one. I put the transparent, I put it with the eyeballs as well, and I think that would be really, really fun to have a go at that, because this it'll kind of all melt together. You'll still be able to see kind of the gray outline of the face if the eye goes over the edge, which I kind of intend to make them go over the edge. I really like that wide set eye look, but it's okay. It's all just a bit of artistic interpretation. And that is it. That is page 11. I'll just go slowly back through them all and let you know that you can find Collage Club in the description box below. It's $5 per month, USD. It is at least 5 US letter size printables per month. If I ever do the cut files for myself, I add them there, which I think I've added them every month since we started 4 years ago. There is 4 revolving months at any given time. So if you join right now, it's July, August, September, October. At the end of October, July will go away and November will upload for the next month. So we're always revolving 4 months, which means whenever you join, there's at least 20 sheets available. But if you join a month like this and there's 11, you got a lot. There's a lot going on. I always suggest that you download everything and store them on your computer, but just in case you miss them when they rotate out. Don't print everything straight away unless you're someone like me and have a whole folder organizational system. I keep mine in folders like this. I'll just grab one. I've added this as well if you want a little... well, I said it was organized, but it's half organized. I've been working with it, so a lot of mine are pulled out. But I've got these 1-inch binders, and I just use a 3-hole punch to store everything in there. I've got 3 of those going at the moment, and I use a lot of my ephemera ever since I use the Silhouette cutting machine. And if it's coming up to... it's not, because it's not November, but Americans, when it comes up to Black Friday deals, like Cyber Monday deals, you can get a really good deal on those Silhouette portrait machines. They're really small too. They sit on your desk. I have the Silhouette Portrait 3. That's also linked in the description box. Have a look at it. Put it on your little wish list for the Cyber Monday deals because you can get a good deal. And I've used the same one for years, and touch wood, it has been phenomenal. It is literally the reason I enjoy using ephemera. I used to enjoy using it from time to time, but I really didn't like the gluing. I didn't mind the fussy cutting, but the glue just really irritated me. So this has always just been a perfect solution for me. I absolutely love it. And I also am putting together, well, I have put together, but I'm going to make this fully finished for the end of this year, a Collage Club reference book, which is, this one goes until June of this year, because that's for when I made it. I actually needed it because I mean, this is how much we've done since we've started Collage Club. Can you believe it? Maybe I'll flip this one day or I'll flip the final one. This is just so that I knew which pieces of ephemera I've used before, like which illustrations I've used before. You could imagine 11 of these pages. I mean, I don't know how many things I've used, in what capacity I've used them, and it gets really hard to know sometimes. So instead of pulling out all of the different files and going through them one by one, I can flip through this book. And I have a general idea of what I did in each month. Like I know around this time it gets Christmas time. If we go just back before this, oh look, this is October last year. So I can see what I did for Halloween last year and think, oh, okay, did I use any of that stuff? Oh, I used that for Halloween. Okay, I can't use that again. Then it goes into November. What did I use for Christmas? Oh, look, I did that for Christmas. So it's also really like stimulating. I was gonna say inspiring, but it's more stimulating for me to look back at some of the stuff that I forgot that I loved. Like some things were just half of an idea that I had for some random piece of ephemera like this. When I was doing the numbers, and I thought, oh, I would love to expand on that, but I haven't touched it since. So when I see it, I come back and think, oh, okay, then I'll go and have a little bit of a draw. So honestly, it's just like a nice catalog of all my work. Oh, I loved all of these. You can tell when I've done a workshop because there's usually always a minis page of a lot of the stuff from the workshop. This was Burtonville too. I loved that. Anyway, I could look through this for years. Daisy Ween. That was fun too. Oh, look at all these. The minis. I love a page of minis. But this I'm going to work on and try to make available for the end of the year. It will probably be very expensive. I'm just going to put that out there now because I believe just the cost price of this I did on Amazon was maybe like $40. So I can't imagine that it would be cheap. But I'm doing it for me, but I will, once it's finished and it's all 4 years, it'll be 2021, 22, 23, and 24. Once it's all of those, then it'll be a bit more complete than just half of this year. So keep an eye out for that whenever I decide to let you know about it. I'm sure I will. I'll put it everywhere on social media. But for now, have a great October for Collage Club. Join us for the Halo Workshop if you still want to get in on that, because we're just at the halfway point now and there's still a lot to enjoy. And if I just see you around on YouTube and in Instagram, please share all of your Halloween fun with us, especially if you are playing alongside any of the workshop stuff we're doing. Use the hashtags. You don't have to be a part of the workshop to use the hashtags and get involved. We love to see everything that you get up to, just whatever you're inspired by. Please let us see it, and the more the merrier. I love it. I love this part of the year when it gets really seasonal. Can you tell I've just been away for a bit and I just need to chat? I'll chat another time. I gotta go. I'll let you go, but thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. Thank you for joining Collage Club. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll try and answer them for you. Otherwise, have a great day. See ya. Bye.